Okay, welcome to another episode of Groovi Tuesday. I hope everybody's doing well and not suffering too much in this weather we're experiencing at the moment. I can see the lovely Karen McCaws in the room already over on YouTube. So good morning. Takes a while for people to find us and pull up a chair. So while we do that, we shall do our usual waffling. And yeah, another episode as we continue. Good morning, Mo. Everyone's good. Good morning, Helen. So at the moment, it's sunny in Shoreham, and it's also sunny here in Edenbridge in Kent. But I know we have more rain forecast. So hey ho, let's stay indoors and craft, shall we? Good morning, Karin. So there we go. Everybody's coming in the room now. The lovely Sue should be in the room with you this morning. So if you've got any questions, there we have the lovely Ken and Josie, Jane. So yeah, lots of help and advice in the room. So if you have any questions, fire away and see what we can do. Lovely Glynis is there. Hazel, good morning, good morning. Dawn, all the old love, not old, all the regular faces. I didn't mean old. Yeah, and this week we're starting on a different journey. We're having a look at tool focus that we spoke about last week. The previous number of weeks we've been working through the Pergamano Multi-Needle Handbook Volume 2 tool, and it's great to see what people are coming up with. And the lovely Glynis has very kindly created some projects over on the Clarity Matters blog, so you can see how you can put them into use. So when we did our recent Pergamano parchment retreat at the Spa Hotel a couple of weeks ago, the lovely Shari Levy reminded me about some projects that Linda had created over on the Pergamano website called Tool Focus. And it looked at 4 tools that weren't included in Volume 1 and Volume 2. So I thought it'd be great for the next couple of weeks, we'll have a look at those while we're on that flow of using the multi-needle tools and see what we can come up with. And then I'm going to give you a sneaky peek later on of what's coming up on the Pergamano show next week with Tina Cox. For those of you that attended our fantastic parchment retreat, will already have seen it because many of you already have it. But I thought this would be a great design set that we can work with going forward. So I'll give you a sneaky peek later on during the course of the hour of that fantastic design set. And then when it's launched next week, if you want to, you can take advantage of the offer. And then in a couple of weeks, we'll get going on that because there's so much to do on that one. I'm really looking forward to that. So yeah, but it won't be available until a week on Thursday on the Pergamano show. But we can have a look, can't we? Because what will happen is this week, Barb's on TV on Sunday, 3 till 5. So what we tend to do is take all the artwork and the product for Tina next week up at the same time, and we leave it there for her. So so it means that we haven't got to post it, hasn't get lost in the post. So yeah, so I thought we'd do a sneaky peek this week ahead of next week. I know, I'm terrible, aren't I? So, oh, that's very hot. Okay, so as I said, previously we've been working our way through this handbook, and I know many of you have invested in this and have been working through it with me. And we just covered each tool individually, showed how they work, we had a play with them, we saw different characters in them, we saw some aliens. And then what it does, it also goes on to how to perfect your cutting. If you're new to that, how to hold your scissors. And then we work through, for me, how to cut across. That is how I learned to do my picot cutting, by doing crosses. And once I was comfortable with that, then I progressed onto the rest of it. So you've got from crosses to lace. So just coming up with some various different combinations. So it really is a good book if you want to sort of something to work towards. And then Linda creates these fantastic projects and then shows us which tool she's used, what area of the pattern that she's then incorporated within her design. And they've all been sort of graded, whether it's easy, intermediate, difficult. But sometimes you look through some of these designs and you think, oh, I forgot I had that particular plate, or oh, I didn't realize I could do that. And so it's a great sort of tutorial that you can continue working on as you get more familiar with the tools. I mean, look at this one. Isn't that stunning? And that's using this area here, and that's using the semi-square tool. So there really is, I'd say half of the book is filled up with fantastic projects. And in some cases, Linda actually gives us the full design that we can photocopy and then use with our multi-needle tools. This is one of Linda's flowers and lace plates. What one's that? I think that one is that jasmine? Let's have a look. Oh, it's a gladioli one. Yeah, look at that. So then you've got the lovely soft tones. So there really is so much that you can do with this book. And it isn't just a sort of a practice piece to get you going. So we finished that, and you can go back and you can watch all the previous episodes if you've only recently joined us. But for this week, what we're going to do, we're going to have a look at these downloads over on the Pergamano website. And this week, we're going to focus on the Semi Star Tool. So it's the same format in a way with the book, but this time it's a free download. Linda shows us different ideas of what we can do and what we can practice on. Then shows how we can do some embossing. So this has been enlarged. How to evenly space the tool. How to reinsert and overlap to create a different look. Then shows us what we can do with the pattern, and then some really top tips on how to work through it. So that's one of the downloads for that one particular tool, okay, that we can look at. And then when you look at the second one, it's a step-by-step project and putting it into place. So here we have the pattern that Linda's created, introducing the embossing, and there's some top tips on how we can achieve that. Your list of ingredients, additional tools, and then we can just, if you want to, you can then just work through. Okay, so I thought that's where we get started. I know many of you have downloaded that in preparation. So this is where we're heading. So we definitely need issue number 1. We're also going to need our super foam, like we have over the last couple of weeks. Then we need our Pico foam for our shallow perforating. We need our Groovi guard, a couple of tumble dry sheets. Then we need our Semi Star Tool, which looks like that on the end. Looks like a back to front K, or if you turn it that way, it's a K the right way. What way should it be? Yeah, it looks like a K. There we go. Can't really see it. Come over on this one. There we go. That's what the end of the tool looks like. So this is the Semi Star. Okay, like so. Then we're going to need a piece of parchment, some Groovi tabs, a white pencil, and our number 1 and number 2 tool. So it's all the ingredients we've been using previously, and the only change is the tool, because we're working on a different tool. Okay. So, how's everybody been? Everybody been okay? Lovely to have your company again. It was great fun in the shack yesterday with those the tree and putting those little deer in place. And as Barb said last week and yesterday, there'll be another episode of the shack on Thursday at 7 p.m. in the evening. So the lovely Grace will be joining Barb all the way from New York. So she'll be in the room helping and answering any questions. And then what else have we got this week? Then Barb's on TV on Sunday, 3 to 5, with some lovely new Stampede designs from Linda Williams. So that's going to be fun. So yeah, a quietish week, TV-wise, when it comes to all things clarity. But as I say, later on, I will give you that sneaky peek of the design set from Tina, which is launching on the Pergamano show next Thursday. So I know, I'm terrible. Okay, so should we have a go? So let's put all our bits and pieces to one side. And what we're going to need is we're going to need the second page of our pattern so we can practice. Okay, now I've stapled mine together. So I'm just going to remove that page like so. Then we're going to make our sandwich. Okay, so we've got our Pico foam, our A4 black Pico foam. I'm going to take my tumble dry sheet and position that on top. Then I'm going to take my pattern, place it on top there. Then I'm going to take my sheet of parchment and I'm going to wipe it both sides like so, because I definitely want to be doing some embossing. So I know by wiping it on both sides, that will allow for that. I'm going to use my Groovi tabs. Whoops, he says, throwing his pencil on the floor. Doesn't matter, does it? And that's going to go there. That's going to go there. Now I'm going to prime my multi-needle tool by using my super foam, folded up tumble dry sheet, and then just perforate. Now this tool has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 needles. Okay, so it has 9 needles in there. And when we come in on this camera here, don't know if you can see where some are longer than others. So the outer ones are longer. So similar to some of the other tools we've been using on. So these two here, where am I going? Are longer, and the two on the back are longer as well. Okay, can we see that? Yeah, I think we can. Okay. So what I might do is see if I can zoom in a little closer on that camera. So just bear with me for a moment. I'm just going to walk around the other side and zoom in. I thought I was in close enough because I had some stuff on there. So let's have a look, see if I can come in a little bit closer. There we go. Really nice and slowly. Okay. And I reckon I could probably come in a little bit closer on the overhead as well. But we'll get that. I'll get that one in place like so. Okay, that's really close, isn't it? Okay, are we good to go? Are we ready? I'm sure we are. Okay, right, camera number 3. So let's have a look at the area. If we focus on this area here, so this is where we determine whether we need our glasses. Well, it's a little bit out of focus. Just bear with me for a moment. I'm just going to pull the camera back a little bit. I came in a little bit too close on that one. Trying to come in too close. Hey, there we go. I reckon about there. Technology, I don't know. Don't want it too blurry. We need to be able to see the holes, don't we? Okay. Right. Let's have a little looky. So over the past few weeks, we've been looking at whether we sort of come in from the back of the tool or whether we come in from the top of the tool, whether we come in from the side. So for this one, what we're going to do, we're going to practice and see what feels more comfortable for us. And I think the other week when I was playing, I worked out that it was the third one round, wasn't it? So what we're going to do is I'm positioning those 2 back needles, bringing the tool upright, and once I'm happy that they're all in position, I'm going to perforate. Okay, like so. Right, so that was coming from the front, back. Let's try coming from the back to the front. Okay, that works as well. There we go. Now I wonder if I come in from the side. From the side, that was a high pitch side. I wonder whether I come in from this side, like so. Let's see. Right, okay. Typical, isn't it? 3rd time. And for me, this is a better angle to come in from, because I can see the back 2 needles and I can also see the front 2 needles. Okay. Much better. That's the best perforation I've done out of all 3 of them. Okay, so find what works for you. So let's have a look. So that needle goes there, that needle goes there, bring it upright, and then perforate. Who's trying this at home at the same time? Anybody? Or is it just me who's just seeing how it works, what to do? So all we're doing now is we're just slowly working along this row. And in a way, this is a bit like a warm-up, isn't it? We're just getting our eye in to see which one works for us. And don't forget, you can go back if you've recently joined us on our YouTube journey, then you can go back and watch all of the previous episodes. If you've only just recently joined the shack, I don't know why I keep saying hi. Then you can go back via our YouTube channel and watch all of those back as well. Okay, so I've done that row. Now it's not a very good row, but as I say, we're warming up. Oh, well, I'm warming up anyway. So let's take a piece of card and just pop that underneath. Yeah, doesn't look straight at all. Look at that. Wonky as anything, but it's a warm-up exercise. I'm just getting my hand in to see how the tool feels and which one works best for me. So now, when we move on to the next row, let's have a look on the overhead. So if we look at this one here, you can see, to me it looks like a TV aerial. If I turn it that way, it's like a little TV with the aerial sticking out the top. Or it could be a little face. Come on, Mo, what do you see? Now this one, what you'll notice is that the V's are closer together. And that's because we're reinserting into the last hole that we made. Okay, so we're just bringing it in closer to create a different look. So I've established for myself that this is the most comfortable way of perforating, or not the most comfortable, the easiest way that I can see where the dots are. Okay, I'm going to bring my guard in to focus. And a top tip, if you take the edge of your Groovi guard, make sure I've got the tool the right way. So if I pop that like so, there we go, and perforate. Now what we're going to do, we're going to reinsert the back last needle into the last hole. So we're now using the tool to create an equal spacing between each of those V's. Okay, and then we're going to slowly move along to complete this row. Now you just need to be careful that you don't try and perforate your Groovi guard, because that's not a good idea. Okay. I can see all this stuff, talk of secret stuff coming up. Lots of exciting things coming up at Clarity Towers over the next few weeks. So yeah, so we're going at our own pace, but it is, you get into it, and because Linda has very kindly created these patterns for us, it's a good way to get used to the various different tools. Okay. And for me, one of the essential pieces of equipment really is the Groovi guard, especially when it comes to using multi-needle tools. Okay, so we're going to carry on and complete the row just like so. Okay, let's have a look at this one on the overhead. I'm going to pop a piece of card in underneath and then bring that in. So you can see, I mean, it looks really weird when it's just perforated. I missed a hole there, got carried away. Oh well, it's practice, isn't it? Next, we're going to have a look at this border, because now we've taken the Semi Star Tool and we've just used half of it. This time, we're going to create the star type of effect. So for example, if I just take the tool, let's go freestyle here. Okay, so I'm going to come over like so, just like that. So if I perforate there, okay, now this row is the long straight row across the back. If I then turn the tool round and go back in like so, I've now got, look, this is clever. I've now got, where's it gone? A little star or snowflake. Can you see that? Let me bring that up. See? And it's easier. I mean, I suppose a tool could have been made to give you a complete star, but I'm sure there's a lot more uses by having half a star. Okay, so it's a snow, it's a star, or it's a snowflake, or as Clarity Sue says, it's a starflake. It's lovely, isn't it? And we can go back in and reperforate if we choose to, and we can reperforate with either the 1 needle bold or the 1 needle fine. So I'm just going to grab mine out of my tool bag. I'm sure I put them back in when I was up at TV the other day. So there's my 1 needle fine. So if you're looking to add a little bit of detail to your design, maybe you're working on your Christmas cards and you just want to put something in the background, this Semi Star tool would be a great for doing that. Ooh, hang on, focus. Hang on, let me zoom out a little bit. Otherwise everyone's really feeling giddy. Let me just zoom out. I wasn't sure whether it was my glasses or with varifocals playing up. So let me do another one. I quite like this tool. This is nice, especially with this time of year. So once, like so. Okay, then turn it round and then reinsert that whole length back in to create the star. Now let me take this off of here, like so, and then we'll reperforate on the super foam. Okay, I need to put that on top so I can see where they are. So let's have a look. So there's my star, snowflake, starflake, as Sue calls it. So let's take our guard to protect our area. And if I take my 1 needle fine and reperforate, okay, like so. Now, if I know that I'm not going to do any embossing, then I could have deep perforated first time round. Okay. Now I will hold it up to the camera in a moment. So now if I take my 1 needle bold and I reperforate with the 1 needle bold, let's have a look, see if this one works. Yeah, it does. Sometimes when the pitch between each of the perforations can be a little bit too close on some of the multi-needle tools, you can't use the bold to reperforate. Okay, so let's have a look. Let's bring that up to the camera. Let me try it on this camera so we can see. Let's have a look. Okay, so you can definitely see the difference. So this one here has been reperforated with the bold, and the other one has been reperforated with the fine. So I suppose it depends on the design you're working on. Karen's asked which would be the best to perforate, fine or bold. I suppose it depends on your overall design, whether you want the snowflakes or stars just to sit subtly in the background, or whether you want it to be more prominent. It works either way, doesn't it? Now, I wonder, I'm getting carried away now. No, we'll come back to that in a moment. We will come back to that in a moment. I say I get carried away. As I start to play, I come up with, think, oh, I wonder if I could do that. I wonder if I could do this. But I'm still thinking, can you hear the cogs ticking in my head? I know, you don't want to be in my head. There's too many cogs spurring around, spinning around. So, but these are one of the tools that had originally been discontinued by Pergamano, and we reintroduced them on the advice from Linda Williams. And it was the Semi Star, there was the teardrop, there was the swirl. So, so for the next couple of weeks, we're going to have a look at those different ones and see what we can come up with. But as I said, going forward, that plate that Tina designed, which is launching next week, we'll have a look at that, because I could definitely see this Semi Star Tool. I don't know why I can't say that. Semi Star Tool will work perfectly in some of those designs, and you'll see why when I show you a bit later. Okay, so let's go back to our pattern. Okay, so I'm going to create my sandwich again. I'm back on just my Pico foam for my shallow perforating. But you can see now how you've got this lovely corner, but you could just do a row of snowflakes. Okay, I'm going to pop my pattern. So let's go up this end of the parchment. Pop that on there. Take my Groovi tabs to hold it in place. Okay. And don't forget to tell your friends, come and join the party. It's all about getting in the groove. So let's have a look. I'm going to come in on this camera now, and we're going to move over like so. And we're going to do one side at a time. That's what I think anyway. A bit too far over. Come over there. And we'll come down a little bit there. Okay. So let's have a look. First one. And then are we reinserting? No, we're just continuing on the journey. Linda has given us that spacing between each of the tools, perforations, like so. But yeah, this would be great. See, sometimes we look at a tool, or I know I do, I look at a tool and think, well, what can I do with that? So to have the help and the guidance from Linda and to have these patterns, I think is a great way to get more familiar and have a look at what we have. Because I know, me personally, I often forget that we have them, how they can add that decorative element to our design quite easily as well. So now we're going around the corner and I'm turning my work so it's more comfortable for me. Let's have a look. Needs to come over one dot, like so. And when you look at what we're doing here, this is just the outer row, so to speak. This would make a really nice edge against a straight line. So if you've used, like, for example, the nested square, for example, to create a frame, then this would be lovely just to go around the outside or even on the inside to add a little bit of detail to your design. So go all the way down to here. So we're on the last one now. So when we lift this off and we come in on the overhead, I'll take my piece of card. So you can see now how you've got sort of a straightish line. It went a bit wonky there. But you can see, look, I mean, it's a lovely edge corner, isn't it, that you can use. I've just had another idea. I'm going to try it in a minute. But now we're going to turn the semi-star into a star. So I'm going to turn it so it works for me. And this time we're going to come along this side. Where are we? So now we're going to come down this row. Groovi guard. I really like this tool. Don't really play much with the multi-needle tools, but I can definitely see the value to them and why we have them. So what we're doing there, and when you go along, what I'm doing, because this central row has already been perforated, I'm actually now looking at these two needles to make sure that I'm going into the right perforations. Okay. Because if I go off by one, then it's going to be out across that top row. So then we turn our work around, like so. Okay. So you could do this, I mean, Linda's given us a complete pattern in the second download. Come forward to create a frame instantly. Obviously, you can extend it to whatever size you wish. Just like so. There we go. I've got an idea of this tool. I don't know if it's going to work, but I want to give it a go. It might look absolutely rubbish, but you know what? I'm going to give it a go. Okay, so let's have a look now what we have. If I take my black piece of card, so we now have a row of snowflakes or stars going around the corner. Okay. Slurp of coffee. Now, what I wanted to try, I don't know if it will work or not, but I'm going to give it a go. So I'm going to go into a spare piece and I'm going to perforate. See how the paper buckles up? This is where the Groovi guard really comes in because it stops that from happening. Right, okay, so to create this snowflake or the star, we know that we do one and then we turn the tool round, then we line it back up and we create the star. Okay, now I wonder if we do this, so my straight edge is down here, what happens if I turn it round and I do that? Ooh. Okay, let me take it off the paper. I'm sure somebody's probably done this already. But I think, let me have a look. Oh, wrong camera. If I bring it up, can you see? It's created like a Space Invader. So let me show you again. Take my Groovi guard. So what I did was I did that one like so, and then I put the two short ones together like so. And what it does is it gives you, because I think that would be really nice, picot cut. Excuse me. Okay, I'm getting carried away now. So if I go back in, the back two tools, turn it round, front two tools. Do this on a straight line as a guide, but I think it just, I'm sure one of the design team would have already have done this. Look, let me come in on the overhead. Can you see? I mean, if it was straight, it would help. But I think that'd be great for picot cutting out in the middle to create those little apertures. Okay. Now, let me try something else. I need a little bit. Right, let me go over here. So if I go, let's have a look, like that, and I'm going to do the same to create that centerpiece, like so. Now I wonder whether the pitch is the same. Ooh. What do you think of that? I could just spend the next half hour just perforating with this tool and just coming up with different configurations. Now, whether they actually look anywhere decent is a matter of opinion. But I quite like the Space Invader, or I'm sure it's from like Star Wars type thing. One of those zoom things. Yeah, a TIE fighter from Star Wars. There we go. I knew it looked like one of those things, didn't it? And we've got a Cyberman from Doctor Who. See? Come on, Mo. Where's your suggestions? What are you seeing? Or have you given up the ghost and left the room? Okay. Now, what I wanted to try was, I want to perforate in between those bits. Or not perforate, I want to picot cut in between those areas. So let me grab my scissors. I know, going off track, but I think it'd look really nice. Do I want to re-perforate first? No, let's just go with it. So, haven't warmed up. So let's do these ones first. Turn my work. Hang on. Towards that way. Where am I? I'm here. Okay. Little snip here and there. And then we're going to do this one. You'll notice that I'm doing them all in the same direction first, rather than doing them all individually. May the groovy force be with you. Oh, goodness me. We do have a laugh, don't we? It's not intentional. But no, it is. It's all about enjoying the craft, isn't it? Okay. So let's have a look. Like so. And we're on to the final one now. Hang on. That way, that way. Oh, come on. Okay. Last snip. Let's see what we get. Yay! Look. I like it. I think that's good. And then, if I was doing this as a border, this would be really nice going down in between two lines. So now if I take my super foam underneath and I take my one needle bold that's disappeared, think about, okay, and we're going here, and then I'm going to reperforate with my bold needle tool. It makes little stars stand out more. I like that. So I'd like it if it was nice and straight, but you get the idea, don't you? I think that'd be really great in, like, if you use the nested squares to create, I'm sure that would fit, but you could adjust it, couldn't you? And that'd be a really nice infill using that tool. Clever. Now, let's have a look. So we've created this frame here, okay, or this corner. How are we doing? Oh, is that the time? Oh no, I'm getting so carried away with this tool. It's sad, I know. When it's not sad, I think I enjoy it. And sometimes if you sort of, I mean, it's good to be prepared and to try it and say, right, I want to go down this road, okay. But sometimes just off the cuff, as you're using something, sometimes the brain says, well, what if you do this? And what if you do that? And normally at home, you wouldn't necessarily have an audience, would you? And so, in a way, I know it's weird. It sort of gives me the confidence to try it because I know everybody out there is watching. Does that make sense? And if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. For me, that's all part of the process. We've just spent a lovely hour together with a multi-needle tool and having a play and going off piste, so to speak, and sort of thinking outside the box. But I'm sure many of you that have already got this tool have already done something like that. Come on, Glynis, Jane, Josie, have you done anything like that before? Probably have, but maybe I've seen it and subconsciously have remembered it. So yeah, but if I haven't, I haven't. Lovely hot coffee. Right, okay, so should we have a sneaky peek? So at our recent parchment retreat, Tina designed some plates specifically for that event, and she will be showcasing them on the Pergamano show a week on Thursday, and that's at 11 o'clock and 3 o'clock. For those of you that attended the parchment retreat, would already see them. Many of you have already purchased them. That was part of the perks, so to speak, of attending the retreat. Okay, so the idea was, Barb had the idea of designing a plate mate for our A6 square plates, and within the starter kit you get the adapter plate, but it was all about, when you look at what Tina creates, it was all about sort of the layering using different colored parchments, but also getting that effect with ease also on one layer. So this is where, oh, I've got it here, this is where the I may need to zoom out a little bit. Yeah, let me just, I'm going to zoom out. have a sneaky peek of what it is while I zoom out for you. Okay, so this is an A4 square plate that has an aperture in the middle. Okay, and it houses our lovely little baby plates. As you can see, it's got lots of different elements to it. So it's not just a plate made of clear acrylic. It has so many lovely decorative. I mean, look at these little designs in there. I reckon that Semi Star Tool will fit in there. Okay. Now, the plate mate comes with a fantastic little sentiments panel that's in there. From me to you, happy anniversary, happy today to you, thinking of you. And again, it has a lovely decorative frame around the outside. And these have all been designed to work in conjunction with our various nested dies, like the Pico squares, the Pico circles. So like some of these, you can cut out a Pico circle and then put it on the plate and trace it out. Okay, so that's your main focus. This is your plate mate. So it's great if you're working on smaller pieces. Many of you already have lots of Tina's parchets or the baby plates. Okay, then in addition to that, Tina designed 4 floral layering parchlets. Okay, so we just pop them all down like so. Okay, so these are all the right way up so you can see exactly what the designs are. So you've got the poppies, you've got daisies on there. So you can see now how you've got circles, you've got squares, you've got flowers, you've got elements to them, you've got dotted designs, perfect for practicing your white work. So this is what Tina will be launching on the Pergamano show. And I thought that this would be great for us to get together on Groovi Tuesday and have a play and experiment with them, having a look at different colour parchment, having a look at how we can create layers all on one layer or build them up in different configurations. Maybe you just want to do a little square card. Maybe you want to do a circle card. It's all about having the choices. And I've got some artwork from the design team that's come in so far, ready for that show. So this one is from Jane Telford. Jane's taken one of those sentiments across the middle, and it's using this plate here, and then it's using the plate mate as well. So we've got that one from Jane. This is very pretty. Pink. Can we guess who this one's from? This one's from Jane as well. Look, that little centerpiece there, and this is on the plate mate, these lovely little borders. That little butterfly, where's that little butterfly? It's going to be on here somewhere. There he is. Look, that tiny little butterfly using our lovely pink parchment. Then we have a piece from Josie Davidson using this centerpiece twice, using the squares that come from the plate mate. So they all work in conjunction with one another. So although they've been designed as a set, they're fantastic. And this one is from Josie as well. I love the red on this one. Josie's Pico cut out some of the poppy to allow the colour to come through. Then we've got another piece from Glynis. So, and you'll notice that most of these are little 5x5 cards as well. So when we're new to Groovi, then it's often that we want to sort of stay small and practice and hone our skills. And then the final one is from Glynis as well. So Glynis has combined some colour, she's done some Pico cutting, and it's on paper, parchment, parchment, parchment. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 different layers there, but they all work beautifully because of the designs from Tina. Okay, so I thought I would give you a little sneaky peek, because sometimes when we have the upcoming shows, because the artwork goes up to TV ahead of time, don't often get the opportunity to do that, but I thought I would today because I could. So yeah, so keep an eye out for those next week on Create and Craft. I say we'll definitely be working with them in a couple of weeks on Groovi Tuesday. So just giving you the heads up. Right, so let's go back to our design that we've been working on. Now this time what we're going to do is, if I reposition my pattern, it should slot back in. I reckon it's about, yeah, so it slots back in. You'll feel it sort of slot back into the perforation. But what I want to do is move it down to, where are we going to go? Let's have a look. There is the tool there. There we go. So what we're doing, we're repositioning it. Okay, and the dots. So let me just grab a tool. So let me come in on this one. Let's see if we can get it better on this one. So when we look at the two dots here where we've perforated, they are going to line up with the bottom of the scallop. Okay, so this is where the light panel would really be useful. So it doesn't matter. Let's have a look. So that's going to go there, and that's going to go there. There we go. So all of a sudden, through those perforations, I can see the black line art. So I'm going to pencil that in place. We're still working on the front of our parchment. Okay. And then this is where the white pencil comes into play that I dropped on the floor earlier. So let me just pick that up. Okay. And what we're going to do now is we're going to draw in those scallops. Okay. So I'm using my white B pencil just to help to get the right arch. So like so. Yeah, that's doing it. Like so. That one goes there. That one goes there. And we're just going to go around. Let's do the ones underneath. Like so. There we go. And what this is going to do, it's going to help us when we go freestyle and do some embossing. Okay, so we'll just have a look at this row here. So now when we take that off, you can see how I've got my scallops. Scallops. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my pink mat because I'm practicing. I've turned my parchment over, so I'm now working on the back, like so. And then I'm going to take, what's my number one? So do I want to go number one or do I want to go number two? I think for safety reasons, hang on, where we going? I'm going to go with my number two. And all I'm going to do is I'm just taking that tool over the pencil line. And I'm just bouncing backwards and forwards. Okay. And by having that pencil line, it's helping me, it's guiding me. So rather than, I'll do one over here just to show what this is doing. It's now giving me the equal height of my scallop and equal spacing between the two. It doesn't matter if I squidge into perforations because we know that we can go back and reperforate. but it definitely helps by having those pencil marks on there. See if I can do it upside down. Not so good upside down. We'll give it a go. See? Like so. Very squeaky voice today. Don't know why. Okay. So when we turn it over now, we can see that we're starting to get our embossed lines. And we can leave the pencil on, we can take the pencil off. It's entirely up to you. I think I'm going to remove it and have a compare the difference. Okay. So then when we turn it back over, what I'm going to do now is take the number 1 tool and more lightly, I'm not putting as much pressure on, I'm now going in to add some more whiteness. Okay. Maybe I could have chanced it with the number 1 tool to start with. Let's try this corner here with the number 1. See, I don't feel as confident going straight in with the number 1 tool. What are they saying that? Not too bad. You just gotta breathe while you're doing it. Oh dear. Oh goodness me. And then when we have a look at what's been done on the pattern, so if I turn it back over now, I can align those ones back in. And let's just take my white pencil and build up. Let's do the second one. Have a look, see what this looks like. I need to be careful because I can't press too hard with the pencil because I'm on the pink mat still. And so the pink mat could potentially think that the pencil is a ball tool. Okay, so let's have a look now. So I'm going to go with the number 2 tool. I'm happy with this. It's practice after all, isn't it? There we go. But I definitely prefer going over the top rather than under the bridge, so to speak. So I'm going to turn it round. Come forward a bit. But having those pencil lines there definitely helps. I mean, it's not perfect, but you know what I mean. And then we turn that over, and we're now starting to get a different effect. Now, if we want to be really, really clever, so we go back in. Definitely need the number 1 tool for this. And we're going to go around. I'm just going to go around the ones in the middle. Now, if we hadn't have wiped the parchment on both the front and the back, the tool would really have struggled to glide on the parchment. Okay, so we're just going round and round the circle like a teddy bear. So now when we turn it over, we've got little flowers. And that's all from that Semi Star Tool. I still like my little Space Invaders or Star Wars machines, or my little Cyberman. So give it a go, have a play, have an experiment. It's a piece of parchment. I'm sure you've got lots and lots of scrap parchment that you can practice on. So you haven't got to use a good piece of paper. But if you do, then keep it in a folder, write on it what tool you've used, keep it with the download in a folder, and then you can go back and think, oh yeah, I remember that. And then maybe make a note of the episode of Groovi Tuesday so you can go back and refresh yourself. Because the videos are there forever and ever and ever. They're not going to disappear. They're not saying, right, you've got a month to watch it and then they're gone. They'll always be there. So maybe if you're joining later on and you think, oh yeah, I remember, I wonder if there's anything for that tool, then you can have a look and then just enjoy the process. So I hope you've enjoyed today. So next week we are going to look at, what's number 3? We're going to look at the drop tool next week. Teardrop, raindrop. Looks like a gas flame. So that's what we're going to look at next week. And that'll be ahead of Tina's show on the Pergamano show with those lovely plates. So just to recap, we've got, so today's Groovi Tuesday. Thursday at 7 p.m, it's Back in the Shack with Barb and Grace. Then Sunday is Create and Craft 3 till 5 with some new stampy designs from Linda Williams. Then Back in the Shack on Monday, back in Groovi Tuesday with me on Tuesday, and then the Pergamano show on Thursday. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Thank you to Sue for all her help, and as always, the design team. And try and stay dry, try and stay out of the horrible weather out there. Just stay in and craft, stay in and get in the groove. Just lose some time. Just close the curtain. Don't worry what's going on outside or horrible weather. Yeah. I will see you again next week. Thank you as always for your company. I really enjoy it. I really, really do. And I hope you do too. So take care now, and I'll see you next week. Bye.